Hello everyone, my name is Jesse and I listen to video game music for the first time. So today I'm going to be doing a series of Xenoblade Chronicles requests. For those that don't know, I'll be playing this game very soon, so I'm clearing out my backlog of requests for this game. And it's going to be a whole day of Xenoblade Chronicles stuff. So this one's going to be 3 songs in this video, and I'll explain in a bit. But before that, these are requested by AZ and Ben. We have the channels JoeVGM, and actually that's it. So we're going to be hearing The Fallen Land Day from Definitive Edition, The Fallen Land Night from DE, and also requested is the original Fallen Night. Now, before you even ask of like, hey, why aren't you doing the originals of the other ones, it's because I only do what's ever requested to me. So rarely, sometimes will like go out of my way to hear stuff on their own. So in this case, I won't be hearing the originals for these two, the Fallen Land or Fallen Land Day. But I hear that in the game I can choose to, so I'll just do that in game. So that's why. So Fallen Land Day, Night from Definitive Edition, and then the original Night. Fallen. Okay, yeah, whatever. Let's go before the video gets way too long. The Fallen Land. Oh, and by the way, the playthrough will be right there on Jesse's VODs. Let's go. The Fallen Land. Ooh. That's already a big shift from the last video. Big, like, 180. Ooh. Ooh. Ah, dude. We're already talking like one of my favorites, and it's been like 10 seconds. For those that know, you might know why I like this. This is the day version? I would be putting on my glasses right now, but I don't think glasses qualify for sad sounds. Yeah, whatever. This is lovely. Alright, that's enough. Piano took over the acoustic guitar. Very cool. That happened behind the scenes. That was really nice. The soundtrack really does have everything, doesn't it? It's not even over yet. I'm clapping. cannot wait to hear this in game. Hopefully, it's later and not soon. It's not like early in the game. Don't tell me. That violin is crying. I feel like I should be too, but I don't know what's happening here. But I can feel like my tear ducts starting to like swell inside. Ooh. It's a little goosebump giving. I love how the arpeggiated acoustic guitar turns into an arpeggiated piano. That's so cool. On top of everything else that's happening. Forgot about that. Doom, doom. Strings, violin, acoustic guitar, and piano. That's it. That's all the song is. And a bunch of feeling. Is this Yoko Shimomura? Let me know who this is. Let me know who this is. I don't think it necessarily sounds like her, but I just know she plays piano. Wow, dude. Bravo. We still have 2 versions of that song to go. Okay, I'm not going to talk too much because I'm really excited for the next ones. I will say that sometimes you just know when you kind of like love something right away. It just speaks to you. You know, I can already see myself looking back on this video and being like, yep, right. Of course, if you're unaware, before you start typing your comments and all that, think of anything Xenoblade Chronicles on this channel is like rhetorical questions, don't actually like answer, you know. But that's why I just take guesses, because it gives them certain emotions and all that. But I really love stuff like this, like these slow emotional ballads, because it's basically whatever's happened has led up to this. So it's always an emotional buildup, and this is the sad release, and whatever's happening here, it's hitting hard. Like I'm getting hit hard, and I'm looking at a picture of a blonde kid with a sword. I have no idea what's happening. I will say though, just to keep it brief, that was lovely. And for those that don't know, who are new or whatever, my favorite composer is Ennio Morricone. I've said this multiple times, so you may see where I'm going with this, but anything that reminds me of his musical style, his compositions, immediately is going to grab my attention. And that's not always... a lot of times, I guess he's mostly known for like his Western stuff, like the twangy stuff and the whistles. But it's beyond that. It's him, like the way he writes. He writes stuff like this too, like this. It's not all just pew pew, that kind of thing. He can do stuff like this and very, very well. I'm even willing to say they were probably inspired from Ennio Morricone, because he was making music in the 60s and 70s while these composers were probably kids. So his influence is like astounding and still relevant. As soon as I heard that, I was immediately thrown into his movies. Not his movies, like Sergio Leone movies, but his compositions. And it just always puts me in a good mood. But the thing that I wanted to say about this one is it's a total 180 from the last song I did, which is like Frontier Village and Riki. the Hero Pawn. Those two sounded very, yeah, cool, let's get it. This one sounded like, damn. Whereas in that one, I said like the village sounded very uplifting, kids running around and happy, green, all that stuff. This one sounds like post-stress, post-war destruction. This place, if it is a place, has been through it. I mean, it's hard to say sometimes because when it's just ballads like this, it could be anything. It could be a sad moment happening. There could be a death. There could be a, whatever. It doesn't have to be necessarily a setting. But either way, the tonality of the song is loss and despair, hopelessness, that kind of thing. So it excites me to when that's going to play, that kind of thing. Although this is just the day version. That's where I'm getting like a lot of, I can't even imagine what these are going to be like. Okay, so they seem to loop twice. So this is the Fallen Land Night. Whatever that means. If this is a town theme. Damn. Alright, Fallen Land Nighttime. Oh man, we're getting Metal Gear vibes. You already know how I feel about that. God, I love the nylon guitar, dude. It's such a sick instrument. Why do I feel sad? Holy fuck, man. Oh, the major chord in the background. Harp. This is amazing. Both of them. Both of them. What has happened in this land that has fallen? God. I don't even know what's going on and it's hitting. Doom, doom. Oh, I love you can hear the slide of the guitar. Dring. That. Oh, dude. It's one of the best sounds of the nylon guitars sliding up to a note. So much expression. Da, da, da. Okay. I'm not going to see this comment for a while, but are we crying here? The harp just adding that like tiny little like spice in there. Well, that's an acoustic. Wait, we went from a nylon to an acoustic? I didn't even notice the transition. You hear how this one sounds all sparkly and steel string now? Ooh. Okay, now we're getting saucy as hell. Alright, let's see if I catch that. We have another loop. Okay, let's try to find the transition from nylon to acoustic. Just really quick, nylon is like a plasticky kind of guitar sound, and steel string acoustics are like the bronze colored ones that sound all chimey. This sounds incredible. And we get to hear the original after this. I like how it's an arpeggiated chord. It's like ding instead of just ding. You can hear it hit all the strings. Of course, the piano. That's the nylon. Yeah. Now I'm not sure. It sounds like brand new strings on nylon if it is. Or like kind of dull strings on an acoustic, you know what I mean? Either way, beautiful. I think it's just nylon. I don't want to like fixate on it, but there's some fresh strings on that thing. I think it's just nylon the whole thing. But like when it gets those high notes, it sounds kind of like an acoustic. Either way. I think I want to listen to the original and then talk, because I'm assuming they're probably very close, just probably like a different sound font or something. Okay. Fallen Land Night. Can't wait to hear the original of the Fallen Land Day, but this is the nighttime version from the original game. This sounds more MIDI controlled. I don't think that's a real instrument this time. Or a real guitar, I should say. So it seems like Definitive Edition more or less cleaned up the sound with real instruments. I wonder if that was originally the intention on the Wii, and the Wii couldn't handle it, which I'm sure they could have. It's not like an old system. Or do they just feel like changing it up, just like how Nier did with Nier Replicant? They had the technology for real instruments back then, so I don't know. Maybe it's just a decision to bring some new life into it. They both sound great, though. Like, I feel like if you grew up with this version and you play this version first, you'll probably like it more. But the DE is like so faithful. It's like musically it just cleaner. But I'm of the mindset of they can both exist. I don't like being like, you know, choosing favorites and all that. This is still beautiful regardless. And you have to pay, you know, respects to the original. This is where it came from. Dude. I will say the Definitive Edition one sounds lonelier. It sounds like when instruments are at the forefront, it sounds very clean and clear. Here, the cello, I think, it's kind of buried a little bit in the mix. If that makes any sense. Yeah, and then this guitar sounds more like a guitar I would hear from like the N64 or something, if that makes sense. Like, you know, I'm glad I'm listening to this one because I want to bring a point about talking of the original soundtrack too. What a great song, though. Both of them. All of them, day and night. I have a confession that I'm scared to admit, but every time I've seen the Xenoblade Chronicles logo, I always think of Windows XP. This will make a great wallpaper. I can't wait to finally find out what that thing is, man. I've been looking at that for 2 years. Also, how many composers from the original game came back? Or was it new arrangers? You know, whatever you want to tell me. I wonder how this game did on the Wii. I was very well aware of the Wii when it came out. It was a big deal, right? I was in my late teens. And I remember it was like sold out everywhere. But I don't remember like any hearing about this stuff until I was like much older. When I thought of Wii, I always thought of like Wii Sports and like, you know, first party Mario stuff like that. So I must have done well enough for it to be brought back, you know? Or maybe they just really believe in the series? And like I said, the Wii wasn't that long ago, so I wonder how it holds up. Did it age well? Because when I think of Nintendo, I don't think of like, I don't mean this in a bad way, but like graphical ingenuity. Like I think a lot of games from Nintendo still look great all the time because it's all about like the gameplay and the, you know what I mean? That's just my interpretation of Nintendo. Like I look at Wii games now and they still look fine. If you couldn't tell, I don't know anything about Nintendo. Man, I've been enveloped in sadness for like 15 minutes. I don't even know if it's sad. This could be a happy moment. Yeah, I feel like, let's talk about it a little bit. You know, now looking back, thinking about it, the whole time I've been doing Xenoblade Chronicles reactions, I think I've only heard the original Xenoblade Chronicles only a handful of times. Just a few. I can't even, probably like on one hand, like less than 5 or something like that. Whereas I've been doing a lot of Definitive Edition. So I think, I don't want to speak for everyone, you know, I'm just speaking here. But I guess they did such a good job with the soundtrack of DE that people just kind of, again, maybe just a majority, prefer the DE because it's like the definitive version of the songs. I guess you know what I'm saying? Now, again, I can totally see people, because I've experienced this with Nier quite a bit. Like, I'm going to compare a lot of stuff to Nier here. Nier here? When I played Nier Replicant, I found out later that, oh, it's a remake, or like, you know, it's basically a remake sort of the original Nier that came out on Xbox. And I've seen comparisons, right? Like the game graphically got a huge upgrade, story got upgrade, whatever. And then the songs were basically brought up to par of the year they were made, cleaning up the sound and everything. But you'll have people being like, well, I prefer the original, I prefer, you know, whatever. Now, I don't know, maybe it's just, what's the term here? Is it spun from a different cloth? I don't know, something like that. But I guess I just don't like conflict. But I think the internet has just made people so like black and white about everything that it's kind of exhausting. And it's just the internet, right? Like in person, people aren't really like this. I can't explain it, but I mean, they are, but not as extreme. Like, I am on the team of, hey, we have 2 versions of these songs. Hell yeah, rejoice. I can choose which one I want to hear depending on my mood. But I've never been like the whole, well, you know, this one's better, because then you're just completely ignoring the rest of, you know, of one's catalog. Maybe some are better than others. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just me. Maybe I'm just different. But I could see how and why someone would. There's going to be comments here being like, well, I prefer the original. I grew up with it, blah, blah, blah. I get it. I'm just saying. Doesn't that get exhausting after a while? So what I'm saying is, as someone who's mostly listened to the Definitive Edition soundtrack, what I hear is a very cleaned up version of the original songs, almost to the point where, again, remember, I'm a musician, I compose, I play instruments. In my head, as a musician, I think, well, why wouldn't I want my audience to hear a better version of something I made before? You know, technology's better. Whatever, you know, maybe this is the intended way and we couldn't do it before. That's where I get confused, because the Wii wasn't that long ago. That was like 2008, 7, something like that. Which at this point is kind of a long time ago, but not really. You know, there was definitely quality stuff on the Nintendo. So I don't know, you know, maybe the budget wasn't there. Maybe Xenoblade Chronicles was like a whole new thing and they just didn't have the, you know, that kind of thing. That's where I get curious. Because the jump from the original to the Definitive Edition sound is big. It's very cleaned up, you know? And I think it's really cool because, to me, you can decide to hear, you can decide to hear if you want to hear the more, I guess, MIDI electronic version of the soundtrack, and then a more live instrument human, I mean, you know what I mean, but like that version. So that's cool. And the other reason I want to bring it up is because I asked people around and I was like, hey, actually, can you switch between the soundtracks in this game? And people have been saying yes, so that excites me. I don't know how, don't tell me, I'll figure it out. But that's really cool. That's really cool that when I play this game for the first time, I'll be able to decide how I want to experience it. I don't know if it's like a quick little switch in the pause menu or if I have to like restart the game or, you know, whatever. But either way, just the fact that I get that is really nice, because I don't think I've ever had that experience. that I can think of right now where I can choose my experience, I guess. Right, when I played Nier Replicant, you can't hear the... wait. No, you can't hear the originals. I'm like positive you can't. Yeah, no, you only hear the Replicant soundtrack. You have to go out of your way to hear those stuff. So, as much as I can, when I play this, every time I hear like a new song or experience a new song, I'll probably try my best to hear the original too. So, either way, you know, I'm excited for it. This song, this whole thing, this whole Fallen Land thing, fantastic. You know, I'm guessing we're sad here. It sounds extremely solemn, but beautiful melodies, regardless of which version. It's just an amazing song, and probably one of my favorite Xenoblade Chronicles songs I've heard thus far. I did not think I would be saying that still 2 years later. I feel like I've already heard all the cool stuff, and everything else would just be like, yeah, filler, but no. No. So that's it. I must continue my journey of Xenoblade Chronicles, and there's still more to come, but I really, really enjoyed the Fallen Land, and I cannot wait to reach the Fallen Land and hear that. And I can't wait to hear the original of the Fallen Land Day. So, thank you, AZ, or is it Az, and Benjamin. Whew. I feel like my tear ducts were like getting messed with, even though I have no idea what's going on. Thank you to my Patreon members. Platinum members, I will see you in the Xenoblade Chronicles playthrough on Jesse's VODs. Have a good one. Peace.